Welcome aboard for the Monday, November 17th edition of Barnstable Today. Hello once again, I'm Mark Mumford.
Harbor Master Dan Horn leads a special hearing on proposed new dinghy regulations. That's our top story. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Friel.
Everybody who gathered for the session in Town Hall agreed that something needs to be done to reduce the number of dinghies and other boats still cluttering the shoreline, even after the boating season has pretty much shut down.
Harbor Master Horn set the stage with his opening remarks.
My name's Dan Horn. I'm the Director of the Marine and Environmental Affairs Division and Harbor Master for the town. And sitting up here with me is Mr. Rob Gatewood. He's the Administrator of our Conservation Division. Today we're here for a hearing, a town manager hearing, on a proposed regulation that basically prohibits seasonal storage of boats down at the Old Shore Road or Ropes Beach area in Cotuit. What I'd like to do is just read the legal notice that was posted in the Barnstable Patriot on November 7th, 2008. Legal notice is Town of Barnstable Notice of Public Hearing. I will hold a public hearing on a proposed regulation for no off-season storage of vessels, in parentheses dinghies, at 85 Old Shore Road in Cotuit, Ropes Beach area. Said public hearing will be held on Thursday, November 13th, 2008 at 1 p.m. in the new Town Hall hearing room, Town Hall, second floor, 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass.
Rob Gatewood of the town's Conservation Commission outlined his perspective.
The issue of the management of dinghies at town ways to water over the years has been described as being anything between really bad and disgraceful. This is a problem that sweeps across the town at its ways to water, and it's long been an issue of concern for the Conservation Commission. One of the reasons for that is that the Commission drives a pretty hard bargain on as goes shoreline management and stewardship at private parcels. Okay, and the conservation, for instance, doesn't allow boats to be stored on the beach grass, on dunes, on coastal banks, on marshes. And it is with some regularity that the Commission gets kind of challenged right back by private property owners saying, well, you're telling me this, whereas what do you do to enforce these same kinds of restrictions on town ways?
Cotuit resident Louise Foster, who is a member of the Santuit-Cotuit Civic Association, describes the proposed new regulation as a win-win situation.
Hi, I'm Louise Foster. I live in Cotuit, 204 Clamshell Cove Road. I'm a member of the board of the Cotuit-Santuit Civic Association. I'm a conservation commissioner, and I also kayak 3 seasons of the year all over the Cape and in southeastern Mass, and often use Ropes Beach as a way of getting into the water. I am very enthusiastic about this proposal. I think it's a win-win for everybody. By clearing our beaches once a year, we can identify those derelict boats and get rid of them. This means that for boaters actively using the resource there, they will no longer have to wind their way, thread their way through the junk that is currently there. As Rob said, it's sometimes difficult to explain to owners of waterfront property that we do not condone or support storage of dock piers or other pieces of equipment on the beach. And it's hard to do that in light of the fact that the town allows it on their property. So I think this would set a good example to the rest of our community. And finally, from an aesthetic point of view, the area will be even more beautiful for the experience of residents and visitors alike traveling through the area. So I hope that the proposal is adopted, and I think if it is, it'll be an important first step to extending this kind of process to all the town landings in Barnstable.
Town Councilor Richard Barry also spoke out in favor of the proposed
What do you have
regulation.
to say?
I'd just like to echo the previous speakers and not to be too redundant about what they had said. I'd urge the support. First of all, Richard Berry at 20 Highland Avenue in Katuitt. I had an opportunity to speak with Stephen Gould, who you may or may not have had the opportunity to speak with. He lives right across the street from this, and he couldn't be here today. And he's been dealing with this issue for a long time. You've seen the photographs. You know, ultimately, when you look out into the bay, there aren't any boats out there. People have too much respect for their property to leave their boat out there over the wintertime. But that doesn't appear to be the case with the dinghies. And, you know, most people that care about their dinghies get their dinghies out of there and cover them up for the winter and work on them and not make them too nice because someone will steal them. But this stuff is, it's tantamount to rubbish down there. And we need to get rid of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The information gathered at the dinghy hearing has been forwarded to the town manager's office for consideration and further action.
Meanwhile, the move to ban smoking on town of Barnstable beaches is moving forward as well. Kevin gathered more information from Recreation Commission Chair Clyde
He's
Takala.
here today to discuss the Recreation Commission's recommendation that the town of Barnstable ban cigarette butts on its public beaches. Clyde, how did the ban on cigarette butts at the beaches develop?
Developed this spring from the beach survey forms that when people paid for their beach survey, beach sticker, they had a survey form they could fill out, and there was a number of comments about smoking and litter. And then there was a letter from Dr. Henrik, whose daughter is also a lifeguard for the town of Barnstable. That's what got it started.
Are you aware of any other Cape towns that are have similar regulations or thinking about doing the same?
Right now, there aren't any that I'm aware of, but I do know that Eastham is considering it, because they spoke at our November meeting about the possibility of also coming up with a smoking ban for the beaches.
Now, could you give us the specific recommendation that what the cigarette ban proposes?
Basically, what we said was no smoking on the beach where the beachgoers are, but each beach would have to have a smoking area designated with proper signage and proper disposal cans, and the enforcement would be by the aquatic people, and the time frame for it would be the same as when dogs are not allowed on the beaches.
This is going to be the kind of week weather-wise where more folks may be tempted to build a fire. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with the mercury expected to dip below the freezing mark, maybe down to about 30. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, maybe some afternoon showers in the mix. Winds gusting to 30 out of the northwest and highs just squeezing up into the lower 40s.
Tomorrow there is a very heavy schedule of meetings here in town, starting with the Conservation Commission in the Town Hall hearing room at 8:30 in the morning. Then at 1, also in the hearing room, it's a public hearing on proposed changes to various permits and program fees.
At 3, the Board of Health gathers in the hearing room. At 3:15, it's the Highness Water Board in the School Administration Building.
Then tomorrow evening, it's the Coastal Resources Committee meeting at 5:30 in the Selectmen's Conference Room, followed by the Airport Commission at 6 at the airport. And then capping things off, it's the School Committee meeting at 7 o'clock in the Night Auditorium at Barnstable High School.
Meanwhile, congratulations to the Barnstable High School girls volleyball team who swept to their 6th straight state championship over the weekend.
And one more note from Election Day, Town Clerk Linda Hutchenrider reporting that the Barnstable Band Boosters bake sale in Town Hall, where 2 precincts were voting on the 4th, raised more than $2,000 for the Music Department's general fund. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
We'll meet you right back here tomorrow. I'm Mark Mumford.